showed you the general gist of what I had planned about the road, in the way of the road being built, how I've got it going around the outside, and just in one area on the corner and the north of it, there is a small suburb already. Now, also, if you look down here, I had a small problem which I didn't really notice up until about 20 minutes ago, which I did fix before I came online and on air. There was this sewer system here which had, well, number one, as you can probably see, no power, and number two, it didn't have any another pipe to it. That fan there, for the people who are just beginning with this game, that fan there is not exactly a fan, it is more a wind turbine. A wind turbine can supply power to things like these here. Now, when it gets time to get the oh god, what is it I'm looking for? The other parts of the system. The other parts of the system, one will be a pure sewer system. Now, with that being the pure sewer system, what you do is you put that at the lowest end away from the city as far as possible. The reason being is because of all the sewerage and all that sort of stuff will make the people sick. It's just like I said in episode 1 with power plants. Power plants and also rubbish dumps, because of the way they are, you've got to try and get them as far away as possible from the city itself. As I also said in episode 1, I am going to make that little island over here just across from that power plant. That's going to be my industrial area. If I can, I'm going to make another area where probably off to the side of that, probably a little country town. Well, this is going to be a country town, but when I say a country town, I mean a little farming community in that area. So as such, and let's get ready to start the build again. Let's get ready and choose our areas for road that we were going to lay down. Now, as I said to you in episode 1 also, I was brought up in a suburb called Seven Hills. And as I also said, there was Blacktown connected into a suburb called Blacktown in the area as well as Toongabbie and Pendle Hill, all in that one section. Toongabbie was next to Seven Hills, or one suburb away from Seven Hills. Pendle Hill was practically one suburb away from Toongabbie. Blacktown was one suburb away from Seven Hills. So basically, you had a small area where the four were. Coming up from Toongabbie, there was a street that was called Cornelia Road. That went all the way up. It went for quite a long while, as a matter of fact. All the way up to a main street which turned on towards a highway. Now, that section of road was really, really long, and I was like, maybe, just maybe, I could try and somehow put that in here on this section. Now, the reason why I said that was because of what I've done here. If you have a look at what I did on episode 1, I did this small section here where you've got a couple of houses already built. There's a few other houses that are either getting built or are finished, being built. You've also got some shops on the way as well. And not just that, but you've also got more areas. Oh, hello. We've got a... oh, hello. Hey, bro, how are you? Oh, g'day, Sky. What you up to? So... with that being said, if you have a look at this area here, you've got all this area that's basically a carbon copy of the suburb that I was in. But this one area here, where Piper Scott Street is, down that way is a really long stretch of road. Now that does remind me of Cornelia Road. So what I've got planned is to run a really long section all the way down that area and then connect it up towards the highway. And then I'm going to lay street. With that, I'm going to put in houses and probably some shops, but it more likely will be mainly residential. So let's get started. Okay, there we go there. Oh, bomb. pedal. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Now, as I said, I'm going to lay some, hopefully get some houses down, as well as probably some shops in this one area here, because of this way the street is built. And what I'm actually thinking of doing is actually having houses in the centre, and then just off to the side on the other section of the road, on the other side, shops. I mean, I don't know yet. I could put shops because there's a residential area there and there, which means, you know, they've got quite a few shops to choose from. So let's get to it. Okay, that's that done. Now, also, getting back to what I was talking about, the pollution and also all that sort of stuff, the idea for that sort of jazz is, as I said, away from the city. That's okay. Thank you very much, Sky. Anything doing at all today? Like seeing anyone special, doing anything special? Let's see, what else have we got? No, there's a small section there. Let's see what's going on here. Aha, there's a couple of shops there. I'll pause it. Pause it now, which I've already done before. Let's see what we got. Let's see. There's a power plant there, and there's the electricity mob there. Let's go. Thank you. Bedtime. Let's see. Fairly soon, hopefully, we'll have houses getting built in along here. Oh, it's going fine. Not much going, but still. And you still banging away at things. Oh well, I hope he does. Good luck. And don't get up to too much mischief, okay? LOL. The reason I say it like that, I know you will. Now, let's see, come on, do it. Okay, so far I've got 303, okay. 303 people in the town at the moment, which means I haven't really got much in the... Hello. Okay. I haven't really got much in the way of area for stuff to come through. I've now got to wait for a certain amount of people to come in so I can then get medicals, supply, or, you know, medical centres, fire stations, police stations, you know, just general stuff like that. And as I said to you in episode 1, I'm going to try and make this a small country town. The reason why I want to try and make it a small country town is because everything I get told by people about me, and I do tend to agree with them now because of what happened to me a few weeks back, everyone says I'm a country kid, even though I was born up in the city. Now, let's have a look-see. Okay, we've got 39 people just moving in now, we've got 318 people. So far, we've got no cars in the area, or we've got no houses in this area here where I was hoping to have houses, but no cigar. But we do have houses in this area here, and a couple of shops as well by the looks of things. Not bad. Oh, it's going fine. Absolutely fine. Just plodding along. Let's see. Come on, build. I need you to build here. At the moment, no success so far in this one area here. I'm kind of hoping to have success here, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen just yet. Which, to tell you the truth, is a bit of a drag, because I'm really looking forward to getting houses built in all areas. And the reason why I'm hoping to have houses built in all areas, especially where I can get time or get areas where I can get schools up, as well as the universities and fire stations, police stations, you know, all of that good stuff. I'm kind of hoping that comes up soon. The reason being is because I really need those services big time. There's just a little bit of 320 people. Okay, now let's have a look and see what the whole deal is with this thing. Let's have a look. I've got vehicles over here somewhere, I think. A power plant there. Now I do have a slight dilemma with this area here, and the dilemma is this. As you can probably see, I do have a power plant there, and it's a coal power plant. I've got a wind turbine over there, which is also basically a power plant. Over here somewhere, I've got all the power for this place here is coming off that coal power plant just over there. Power lines just over there come through here. They're also powering this water station here, which, if you remember in episode 1, I put down. The reason being is because the water system wasn't running too well. One pipe was working and the other pipe wasn't. And then I realised that not all the pipes were connected. So I put the water tower down. Now all of a sudden I've noticed, just before I started this episode, I noticed that there was one of the pipes wasn't connected, but I did have the water tower. But I am going to keep that water tower, but I've got to try and work out the problem with these power poles. The reason being is because where they are, I would like to build a couple of houses, but I can't because there are power poles there. So I've got a little bit of a dilemma. I do have one way around the dilemma, but I've got to try and work it to make sure it does operate correctly. Let's have a look. Now, I did say to you guys at the start of episode 1, when I did episode 1 of City Skyline, I did say that I was going to do half-an-hour episodes. I'm 13 minutes into this episode, so I'm going to have to act real fast to try and get things going, so I can get to the point for episode 3 in a week's time. The reason why I said a week's time is because there's a lot of things I've got some places to be over the next couple of days, and not only that, if I can get it earlier, I'll see. There are no guarantees. I'm kind of hoping I can get it earlier. Translation, please, mate. But, as I said, I'm kind of hoping to get things done fast tonight because I really want to try and get a second part done in this episode. The reason why I want to try and get a second part done in the episode is because I would like to see if I can get a public transport system done. If I can get a public transport system up and running, so be it. If not, damn. I'm really hoping to get a public transport system going. And by public transport system, I'm meaning buses. Not so much trains. Buses is what I'm aiming for right now tonight at this point. But I'm not too sure how many people I need to get the buses up and running. I'm not too sure. With that being said, I will actually hang on. I'll try and have a look and see what have I got to do to get the transport system up and running. Transport reached a population of 2,600. Yay. So I've got to reach 2,600. Out of the people who have commented so far, do you do you think I'll reach 2,600 before the half an hour is over? Can anyone tell me whether I will or I won't? Because I'm kind of hoping I will, but I'm at this current point in time, only 329 people in the town. I don't think so. Oh, come on, Sky. You've got to please have a guess. Please. Do you think I'll succeed in hitting the 2,600 mark? Because if you look at it with the way things are at this point in time, guys, I don't really have much in the way of people. I've only got 330 people that are here at the moment. I need a population of 2,600. I've got 5 people that have just come into the city now. I'm just about to check things to see if everything's running. Oh, hello. Roman properly. Okay, whatever. Let's see. Yeah, we've got 331 people who have just come into the town. Now, I'm kind of hoping, as I said at the beginning of this episode, I'm kind of hoping to keep this a small country town. After all, I do agree with people that have been talking to me every once in a while. And what they've been saying to me, as I said, for the people who have only just tuned in, if anybody, people have been saying to me all my life, or since I was the age of 15, Aaron's been saying to me that I'm a country boy, even though I was brought up in the city. Maybe it was because something happened to me when I was 15, I don't know. Because I went to a little country town called Bathurst when I was 15. And I went on a train called the XPT with my mum. And my mum said to me a couple of years ago that day when we went down to Bathurst, she noticed a change in me. And I don't know what the change was, but she said there was a change in me. And now everybody's calling me a country kid. Why? I don't know. But thank you. Now let's have a look and see where we have to lay down lights. Set of traffic lights here. Yeah, why not? Let's go. Because you don't really want people having accidents. I mean, and it wouldn't look good for the town. Every corner where it's a T-intersection like this one, I always put stop signs, and the reason for that is because generally around corners like that, you will only ever see stop signs on corners. Very rarely will you ever see a set of traffic lights on a corner like that, because it's highly unlikely that you will ever see it because of the way the street's laid out. In certain areas in other countries, I could be wrong, I don't know. The reason being is I don't really know other towns around the world. But putting stop signs down in certain areas is a good idea. In other areas, it's better off for traffic lights. So that's basically my theory here, and that's what I've done in in all areas here where I've got long stretches of road. And so here, for example, this is going to lead out to the highway. So what I might do here is, I'm thinking here, I'm not too sure. This one's going to be a bit of a confusing bit. So because last time, if you remember last time when I was watching. When I was actually online and talking about this when I was broadcasting. For the people who have only just tuned in, last time when I broadcast episode 1 of this, I turned around and said that there was where this intersection is, which goes to and from the highway. Coming off the highway, I had a massive problem. It was a massive bottleneck. So what I tried to do is I tried to work out the problem that was there, and I still couldn't work it out. So this time round, I'm kind of hoping that I don't have that bottleneck. So what I will do is, seeing that we're left-hand side of the road, I will lay down a stop sign there. And I'm actually thinking of putting... See this? Remember how I was telling you about, or a couple of minutes ago, I was talking about stop signs on corners and all that sort of stuff? Well, this is the sort of thing I'm talking about. This is coming onto the highway. If you have a look at this coming onto the highway, they've got one of two options. You can either put a stop sign down, or you can put down a set of traffic lights. Me, with my option, frankly, me personally, I'm going to put down a stop sign. The reason being is because you've got to have it coming off the ramp onto the highway, so I'm going to have the sign face up the ramp, so when the people come down the ramp, they will see that stop sign. So let's do it. There you go. Same thing coming into the highway. I'm going to have a stop sign here. That's about it. Now, I don't know whether anybody knows, especially certain people who I talk to on a regular basis online before I started broadcasting the way I do. To a lot of people out there, I don't know how I'm going to explain this to people who are overseas in other countries, but here in Australia there's a sporting code called the NRL, and with the NRL there are all sorts of different teams. Now, all the teams, or most of the teams as a matter of fact, are named after suburbs. For example, we've got the my favourite team, for example. My favourite team is the Parramatta Eels. I've got a couple of Parramatta Eel shirts, jumper, pants, you know, all that sort of stuff. And with that being said, I've got even a Parramatta Eels jersey. Now, with the Parramatta Eels jersey, it is literally a jersey of the team. The jersey that I've got is their standard colour, which is blue and yellow, which Parramatta have got. I do play GTA, and in GTA my cars, believe it or not, because I'm such a fan of Parramatta, my cars are blue and yellow. At the moment I've got 347 people in my town, even though it's a small town. Let's see how we are going with the building of houses here. No luck. Bum. Okay, so we've got a option to do here, which I think... can anybody comment on what I should do with this section here? I do want to keep that section of road that's down through here, that's leading down towards the highway. But what I want to do is I've put down markers. Like, I mean, I've zoned it all for residential, and nothing's happening. Can anybody make any suggestions? Like, do I split the road and put other areas in there, or do I keep it like that? How would you do it? Any comments? And also leave likes and comments on what you would like me to do on the town the next time I come on and do another broadcast. Because with help from you guys, I do tend to do well in the way of doing things. With all of this, the sit down. I mean, I've played this game plenty of times. I mean, I know the game off by heart. But on the occasion, you do need help from people. When you're playing it online and you're broadcasting like I am here. It's an idea to give the person who's broadcasting some ideas, If anybody out there who reckons I should put a few extra streets between these two roads, please make a comment, like say, yeah, go ahead. Or if you don't want it done, say, no, don't do it. It's too much of a risk. You know, just let me know what I should do. Oh, okay, fair enough. So what you're saying is sections of road between there? Am I right in saying that? Because I would really love to... Oh, cool. Okay, fair enough. Let's see, where do we start? First of all... Oh, and guys, by the way, that noise you hear out there, don't worry about it. It's just a truck going past. Let's see. Section of road. Let's see. Do you mean like that? Something like that? Oh, okay, fair enough. How many areas should I do it? Should I do it just that one, or one more spot, or two more spots? Because if I do it two more spots, that's all I can do, but if I do it one more spot, then fair enough. The only reason why I broke it there is because of where the area is for the cut-off point for the zoning for the residential. Oh, thank you, Sky. You just reminded me of something. Thank you. I don't think that's possible, but I'll have a look. I do know that, hang on a sec. No, I don't want that. That's what I want. Now, what I've also got to do is I've got to go back and go there to go to there and find out where I can actually... There you go. Now, also, how do you, just out of curiosity, what do you mean by Y-spaced? Oh, evenly spaced. Okay, fair enough. Duh. Don't worry. Now, also, so you reckon the second section here, you think, somewhere? Would that be right? Would I be right in saying that somewhere here? Okay, that's cool. Let's go. Now, also, who thinks I should put more residential in this area here, or should I put shops in? Because my thought is residential. Anybody else got any other comments? Like residential or any for shops? Because it's a reasonably big space like the other one, which I made residential. Oh, okay, that's cool. Residential it is. There we go. Boom. There you go. Residential. Now, when we get... And what about here? Residential as well, or what? Because I don't know what to do here. This bit's a little bit... okay. Fair enough. Thank you. And this section over here, shops, because we do need shops down this way, but I don't know where to put them. Or do I keep it residential? Because I'm sort of thinking shops, or I'm also thinking sort of along the lines of residential as well. Because if you have a look at the way it's laid out, as you can see, it looks laid out reasonably decent. But where I am going to put shops is just there. The only reason why I put them there is because that's coming off and onto the highway, and people who are coming off and on the highway are going to want to stop and grab something to eat before they go onto the highway. Or if they're coming off the highway and they're going to go up to the other end of the town, I could put something that they could stop and grab something before they go up and visit a friend or whatever. Well, yeah, that's true. So residential in here, do you think? Well, I need shops, so what about near the exit and entrance to the highway? Shops or residential? Because I've put shops there. I've put a residential, a shopping area there for like small shops, like a little corner shop or whatever you want to call it. But I'm overrunning. I'm over time. Anyhow, guys, that's all I have time for now. As I said before, just oh, okay, fair enough. If you want to keep it residential, I'll keep it residential. But I've got to try and figure out where to put shops. That's the biggest problem. So over the next couple of days, I'll have a look and see what I can do. Anyhow, guys, that's all I have time for, which is half an hour. As I said to you, normally I have half an hour. So that's about it. All I have time for. Catch you later. Oh, and by the way, play safe.